Alright, so I've got about 10 minutes or so free, and nobody's in here at the minute, so I guess it's a good time to record this video and get my mind off the comings and goings here at work. Of course, yeah, Walmart company. But, yeah, auto assembly is ending this year, and it would be remiss of me not to be upset about it. But, well, upset because I'm not going to be there, and it is the last one. But at the same time, not be upset because the trip that myself, Phil, and his lovely wife Kim are going on is related to something that's come out of auto assembly. One of the friendships that has been established. Get my words right here. Has been established through auto assembly. We're going over to see Nicole, and that wasn't just last minute thing. I'll think, we'll not go to auto assembly this year. We'll go over to see Nicole, or go to Salt Lake City Comic Con. Now, that is actually a year or so in the planning, because originally or maybe more than a year or so, because originally we talked about possibly going to San Diego Comic Con, or then that evolved to New York Comic Con, and then it finally solidified as going out to Salt Lake Comic Con, and taking some days before and a few days after it to see the place, because it's a place. It might be the one and only time we get to go out there and see Nicole out in the States. So there's been planning, there's been saving, and there's still a lot of organising and that to do. And I'll have to go up to see. I'll have to go up definitely a few times before we go away, so we can liaise and things and that. But back to auto assembly. Yes, it's sad it's ending, but health always comes first, as does family, and it's completely understandable that the committee are finding it harder and harder to get the time to devote to a convention, and it is a hard thing running a convention. And people probably say to me, "Oh, what do you know about it?" Because you don't. You've never volunteered for it or anything, for a convention to help out or anything like that, or you never run one. I know enough people and who do run conventions, and they are good friends of mine here at home in Ireland, which actually got me into going to conventions for the first time. And indeed, the guys who run auto assembly, it's a hard thing. They have to give up time of their lives, like, aside from whatever jobs they do, to bring in money to pay bills and that. There, it takes an awful lot. Not even at the convention, it can take an awful lot out of them, because I remember last year when I think it was the Monday, and I was just me, Phil, and Kim had a later flight home, and Chris McFeely and all the guys had all gone, and I think Billy was sitting there with a few people, and he looked really, really shattered. What I would say to anybody going this year is while you're going to make it the best auto assembly ever, do what you can to make sure that it runs really smoothly for anybody who's actually working in there. Like, what to say? Like, if you know any of the artists there, and or any of the traders that are behind the stands, and do something maybe easy, like like maybe bring them a cup of tea or a drink, or even buy them a sandwich or something, because some of them maybe can't get away from their booths. Like even the guests, like if there's somebody there that nobody's talking to, why not just go up and have a chat with them and ask them how everything's going, as long as they're not working on something. Because I know with a lot of the artists, they'll have a list of sketches they have to do that's probably a mile long, but still, do what you can to make sure it goes just smoothly there. Now, as for the future, there's the whole YouTube Transformers community and social media and all that. I'm sure we can all maybe look into something for next year, even if it's all of us just going down to roll out roll call, because chances are there won't be something there to take auto assembly's place. Though that's a shame. Time is something that can heal, and I would definitely say any friendships you've made over the time, don't let them just go away. Like from there's not one person or one friendship that I've made out of going to auto assembly that I would just casually toss away, because each and every one is very important. Heck, this whole trip out to see Nicole with Phil and Kim, that would never have happened. Like, if I hadn't gone to auto assembly that first time. And the first time I was there, I was really nervous. Like, of course, there's names I knew from, chatting on the forums, like the Moonbase 2 and that there, and listening to the podcasts back then. But meeting people in the flesh, it was kind of like being starstruck that first time at my very first, well, not even the very first con, the very first thing I went to, what was it? It was around the time of the Star Wars Episode 1. I think it was Meet the Stars of Star Wars, and you had some of the people who were maybe a Naboo pilot number 15, or some really obscure, maybe they were on screen, and that, the usual sort of thing, like, oh, I was in Star Wars, boom, I'll sign autographs and that. But the thing there was, and possibly one of the biggest stars I've ever met and had the privilege to, I was actually meeting Dave Prowse, who was the original Darth Vader, and absolutely being scared, well, almost as scared as Chris McFeely was of Steve Bloom when Steve Bloom was over. But that generally has dissipated over the years, the starstruckness, mainly through the friendships I've made with a lot of voice actors and voice actresses. And sure, I don't see them all every year or that, or maybe there's a long time between seeing them, but the principle is always there. For some voice actors, as probably many of you have been told, the only time they've maybe met somebody is at a convention. Like, they could be working on a same project or something and never know who the person they're acting against or the person who's left them a bomb and actually is, until they get to a convention they're meeting up there. And that has been true for Auto Assembly, for all of us who go there. It's got to, sure there's the guests are, you have the voice actors and that, but at the end of the day we all end up becoming, there's friends, I would say. There's that's time of our life that we will always remember. And I know Auto Assembly is ending, but any of us who have been there and made friendships, we can, if people ask us why do we go to cons, we can always fall back on, I'm just checking the time, Auto Assembly, and just say, well, let me tell you this, about this convention called Auto Assembly, it was themed around the Transformers, but the bonds of friendship ran deeper at it. I'll maybe do some more of these videos or vlogs in the future, but leading up to going away over to Salt Lake City and seeing the stuff there. But for now, I'll just sign off and leave with this and say, have a good time, and let's all meet up at somewhere in the future, because the friendships made at Auto Assembly are some of the most important ones we will ever have. Bye bye for now.